It is Week 8 in the National Football League. Your Seattle Seahawks set to take on the Buffalo Bills in arguably their toughest test yet as they face one of the best quarterbacks in football in Josh Allen, and he's got a new weapon in a very good receiver in Amari Cooper. Coming up on today's show, we will go over my keys to a Seahawks victory. We'll break down the injury report, and I'll have my prediction coming up later on as well. The Bills, slight favorites, 3 points. The over-under set at 46.5 for this ball game here, folks. And I got to tell you, this one, to me, is going to tell us a lot about this Seahawks team. They won 3 in a row. They lost 3 in a row. Then you get the win against Atlanta, which was a very big win. Now, if you get this one here, you send a message to the rest of the NFC West and the rest of the NFL that the Seahawks aren't messing around, that they are a legit football team, a legit contender in 2024. If you're ready for game day, ready for Seahawks football, I need you to spam S in the comments section. I want to see at least 300 S's. It's our rallying cry here on Seahawks Today. We spam it in the chat as if we're in Lumen Field. We'll be doing it on our watch party as well. Get those S's in the chat if you're ready for Seahawks football, and we'll get going here on today's show. Let's begin with the injury report for Seattle. Trey Brown with the ankle injury remains questionable, as does Rick Woolen. So some of those younger guys will be asked to step up and do their part, and they held their own last week on the road against Atlanta. DK Metcalf with the knee injury, he is questionable, but we did hear Mike Macdonald say that it's not as bad as they initially thought, even though he was carted off against the Atlanta Falcons. DK is progressing in the right direction. And then Stone Forsythe is now officially out of this game with the hand injury that kept him out last week. He's been placed on injured reserve. Mike Jarrell will ultimately get the start for the Seahawks there this week in his second start. Meanwhile, for the Bills, Mike Edwards is questionable, the safety with an illness, while Curtis Samuel with a shoulder injury, he is also questionable, as is Bernard, their linebacker, with an ankle injury, and then Dorian Williams with a knee injury. He is questionable. This is all as of Wednesday from our live show when we have this information for you here. So what's it going to take to beat the Buffalo Bills? Let's start with the quarterback position for Buffalo. Josh Allen, I got to tell you, I really like Josh Allen. He's had a fantastic career in the NFL, proving to be one of the best quarterbacks. And so far this season, he looks like a legit MVP candidate. You could make the case that if we gave out the MVP 7 weeks into the season, Josh Allen would deservingly get that award. He's been very good so far to start 2024. And you think about this with Josh Allen. One of the things that has been the biggest knocks on Josh Allen throughout his career is how much he has turned the football over. That has been a problem for Josh Allen over the years, the biggest thing that's really held him back. And he lost some of his receivers, guys moving on to other places. And what the Bills asked of Josh Allen was, hey, look, you don't have the weapons you did before. I know he's got Amari Cooper now. More on Amari coming up later. But we need you to be a more disciplined passer. We need you to take care of the football more. And he's answered the call. After ranking second in interceptions a season ago, look at that. He has not thrown an interception so far this season. He's thrown for 12 touchdowns, close to 1,500 yards, 63% completion percentage. And also, you can't forget about what he does when it comes to his running abilities as well. And we talk about creating turnovers, of trying to find those gaps to get those extra possessions. If we can get the bad version of Josh Allen, that would do wonders, because the Bills, they lead the NFL in turnover margin at plus 1.4. They're getting about an extra possession and a half in almost every game this season. You compare that to the Seahawks end of things, and turnover margin's been one of their struggles so far this season, of not creating enough turnovers, but also not taking care of the football like they need to offensively as well. Their turnover margin is negative 0.4 so far at this point in the season. Who do you got? You going with the Seahawks or are you going with the Buffalo Bills? I'll give you my pick coming up later, but want to hear from you guys first. Type C for Seattle. Type Buff for Buffalo. Get your predictions in and let us know. We will be live right here on Seahawks Today coming up Sunday afternoon. Our coverage begins at 12 o'clock Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern. Smitty will join me. We'll do our hour-long pregame tailgate show, and then we'll react to the game in real time, do our postgame analysis and more. It is going to be a great time. You won't want to miss it. Live right here on Seahawks Today. Seahawks and Bills this Sunday. Subscribe now, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Turn on your notifications. That way you're alerted. Once we go live, we will see you then. Number 2 on our keys to victory for Seattle. Let's talk about the run game, a huge topic of discussion for this Seahawks team in 2024. And I got to tell you, what we have seen from this Seahawks team, when they've been at their best, it's when they've been able to run the football, when they lean into their run game, and that doesn't change this week against this Buffalo Bills team. Kenneth Walker III has been pretty solid so far this season with close to 5 yards a carry, 6 touchdowns, 303 yards. But too many times we've seen offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb get away from the run game, especially when they're playing from behind. And if you look at the rush rankings for this Seahawks team, it doesn't reflect how good this run game really could be. You see the yards per rush as a team, 4.5. That's 14th best in the NFL, but the rush play percentage is dead last. Their rushes per game, 31st in the league. Rushing yards per game, 27th in the league. They got to do a better job of running the football and committing to running the football using Kenneth Walker the most effective ways they can. More to come here on Seahawks Today in just a moment, but first, let's tell you about today's sponsor. That is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Choose 2 more players at any given category. Get the choice of more or less. Whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, home runs in baseball, all sorts of different categories to choose from. And Prize Picks has got a great offer that they are giving the folks right now. They will give you $50 to use for free when you spend $5. You don't even have to win to get the money, folks. It's a great deal. This week on Prize Picks, I'm looking ahead to this Sunday. I got our guy Kenneth Walker III to have more than 64.5 rushing yards. I got Patrick Mahomes to have more than 229.5 passing yards. If I put $20 down, both these hit, that turns into $60 on Prize Picks. Play along with me, prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of Seahawks Today. All right, let's go back to the Bills end of things here. And Josh Allen's new weapon, Amari Cooper, a very good receiver. I feel like an underrated receiver, quite frankly, as he's been good everywhere he's been, whether it was with the Raiders or the Cowboys, the Browns, and now with the Buffalo Bills. This guy has been a problem. Hasn't mattered who the quarterback is. Hasn't mattered what the rest of the scheme was. Amari Cooper has done a really good job. And so far this season, he's accounted for 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 11 yards of reception. And you think about this, too. Last week, he was still learning the offense, right? He was only there for a couple of days. And what did he do in his debut with the Bills? Well, not bad. 4 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Now that he's 2 weeks in, you would have to think that he's a full go at this point, that he's caught up to speed with his entire playbook here. And with the Seahawks having their question marks at the cornerback position, that doesn't sound too good. Facing a receiver the caliber of Amari Cooper, they're going to have to do what they can to minimize his impact and take him away as much as possible. Who will be the Seahawks MVP against the Buffalo Bills? Who comes to mind? Geno? Kenneth Walker? Is it somebody on defense like Devon Witherspoon or Leonard Williams? Get in the comments section and let me know who you think will be the MVP against Buffalo. One guy I don't feel like we've talked about enough on this show is Noah Fant. And I got to tell you, Noah's Ark, I mean, it's been taken over. It's been sailing through all the storms. All the animals are piled on Noah's Ark, and it has been quite the ride on Noah's Ark so far, what we've seen from this team this season of what Noah Fant's impact has been. And he's playing better football as of late. His numbers, 24 catches, 263 yards, 11 yards of reception. And one of the things that we talked about going into 2024 was that this offensive attack we expected to use the tight end position more than what we've seen in a very long time, as guys like Noah Fant, Jimmy Graham, Will Dissly, you go way back, were just kind of ignored within this Seattle Seahawks offense. That is changing. Noah Fant is starting to hit his stride. The last 2 games, he's had 10 total catches, 128 yards, close to 13 yards of reception. Keep it going. He's got the hot hand. You got the question marks going on with DK. Go find Noah Fant in the middle of the field. You won't be disappointed. Last but not least on our keys to victory is none other than the rookie, the man himself, Byron Murphy. Let Byron Murphy cook. Byron Murphy, folks, Smitty and I were talking about this earlier. The Seahawks have not lost a game where Byron Murphy has started. He has been a constant for this Seahawks team, and the numbers are not too flashy. He's only had half a sack and 2 TFLs. But what he does, not only when it comes to getting pressures, but also stopping the run and making life easier on his teammates, his presence is felt throughout that entire defense. Despite being a rookie and still learning how this all works, he is coming along very nicely. And Mike Macdonald had this to say recently about Byron Murphy. He said, Murph, I think he's an underdog. Just what he's able to do to push the pocket, to your point, it's a team pass rush. And that's the key, is Murphy making his teammates better and getting that pass rush going. He might not get rewarded for the sack, but if he can help somebody else, it all counts the same for everybody there. We will get to my prediction in just a moment, but first, who's a player that needs to step up this week for the Seahawks? We mentioned a couple different guys. Who comes to mind to you? Chime in. Let us know who you think that player is. To recap, our keys to a Seahawks victory this week: got to force Josh Allen into making mistakes. Need to lean into that run game with Kenneth Walker. Got to do what you can to contain Amari Cooper. Let Noah Fant do his thing and continue to build on what he's been doing the last couple of weeks, and let Byron Murphy cook defensively. If the Seahawks do all those things, they'll be in good shape. But despite all that, folks, you're not going to like this, but I can't pick against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are just too good right now. The way they're playing, they look like one of the best teams, not just in the AFC, but all of football. I hope I'm wrong. Hopefully the Seahawks can find a way to win this and get the job done. But this is a tough challenge facing the Bills and Josh Allen and everything the Bills have going for them right now. It's hard for me to imagine the Seahawks winning this game. Not saying they can't, but it is a tall task to do. If you're ready for a Seahawks win, spam W in the comments section. Let's hear it for your Seahawks. Get those W's in, and we'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.